Today I'm going to be making a lazy daisy cake. This is the picture right here. This recipe came from Taste of Home magazine. This is from the October-November 1995 edition. It has a lot of recipes, and what they do is they'll put the recipes on the front like this, and then you just turn the page and it's on the exact opposite. So
you can cut it out.
Yeah, so you can cut these out if you want, like they're the size of an index card. And so the Lazy Daisy cake is right here. So we are going to need, I'm going to give you, they have cake ingredients and frosting ingredients. So for the cake, you need 4 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of milk, and a 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. And then for the frosting, you need 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar, 3/4 cup of butter or margarine melted. When we get to that point, we'll melt it. You need 1/2 cup of half and half cream, which I'll measure out when we need it. And then you need 2 cups of flaked coconut. So the first thing we're going to do is in a mixing bowl, we're going to beat the eggs, sugar, and vanilla until thick. Been going for about 4 minutes, and you can see that it does get thicker. It kind of looks like eggnog or something right now, but you want to take your powder, your salt, and your baking powder and your flour, and just mix those together. And then we're going to add these to our liquid mixture. Okay, so we're going to leave this here because you just want to mix it until it's just combined. So leave it here. In a saucepan, we're going to take our butter and our milk, and we're going to let this, the butter melt, but we're going to bring this to a boil, stirring occasionally. So once it comes to a boil, then we're going to add it to our mixture in our mixer. You can go ahead and spray your pan. You need a 9 by 13 by 2 inch baking pan, and you want to just spray it. I have the Great Value vegetable oil spray, and I'm going to hold this over the sink because I don't want it to get all over the wall and everything, but you just want to spray your pan. Okay, it just started boiling, so I'm going to pour this into my mix, like I said, and you have to be careful. And Kevin suggested that we have our mixer running when I do this so that it won't cook my eggs. So that's what I did. I have my mixer just on low, and then I will probably scrape my bowl down in just a minute and mix it a little bit longer. Okay, so now we want to go straight from here into our greased pan. I have my oven heating at 350 degrees. It's already there. And we are going to bake this. It says for 35 to 40 minutes. And so I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to go for 37 minutes. But this is a thinner batter. This is like if you buy a cake mix from Walmart. If you buy like a Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker, this is like the thickness of one of those, I think. So it's not a thick, like a UK cake mix. It's not like that.
Where you have to spoon it in?
Yes, this is a thinner cake mix. So I'm going to set my timer for 37 minutes, and then we'll be back. I only have 5 minutes left on my cake timer. It's baking. So now I want to go ahead and start the frosting. So you want to add, there's 4 ingredients for your frosting, and you want to add all these together and mix them until they are combined. came out of the oven. You want to turn your oven to broil. So if you have an oven liner like we do, which I love, take it out and put your oven on broil. And then this is supposed to go on top of the warm cake. Okay, so now we're gonna put it back in the oven for 3 to 4 minutes, like I said, on broil until it's lightly brown. So you want to really keep an eye on it and don't let it go too long or it will burn very quickly. Okay, so this was in the oven for right at
3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes, but you can see there are little pieces where it will scorch very, very quickly if you don't watch it. So now the directions do not say whether you eat it warm, whether you let it cool to room temperature. So I am going to definitely let it cool though, because in their picture, I'll show you, in their picture,
if you cut it now, all that stuff would just run off.
Yes, it looks pretty solidified at the top. It doesn't look dry, but it does look more solid, whereas this looks very like liquidy in some parts. So I'm gonna let it cool down a lot before I cut it, and we'll be back. That's how it looks. It looks like a very nice fluffy cake. So it says, Lazy Daisy cake. We couldn't wait until Mom sliced this old-fashioned cake with its caramel-like frosting, loaded with chewy coconut. Even after one of Mom's delicious meals, one piece of this cake wasn't enough. And that is from Darlis. I don't think I've ever heard the name Darlis. Darlis Wilfer in Phelps, Wisconsin. That is a very unique name. And it says it yields 16 to 20.
You got 15.
I got 15.
That's pretty good.
That does not surprise any of us.
No, that's pretty close actually.
This is a much fluffier cake than I thought.
I'm wondering how dense it's gonna be. That cake has a different flavor. It's almost, I hate to say eggy, but it almost has an egg like.
Well, there's 4 eggs in it.
You taste a little bit of the egg in the cake. Not a lot, but.
It's fluffy, but it's close. I think it's delicious. I like the cake. I'm not getting the egg that Kevin's getting.
It was more when you try it by itself. But why would you try it by itself?
Well, I did.
I did too, but it got, I mean, it wasn't like egg, but it was just to remind you a little bit of that.
I think this is delicious.
The topping is awesome.
And it still is warm, and the frosting itself. The frosting itself is still warm.
And the cake is a little warm.
And that is such a great mouthfeel to have that warm coconut, like caramely kind of flavor. Very sugary, very sweet with that cake.
And I like it when you get the little pieces that are toasted. They have a little crunch to them. Those are really nice too.
I could just eat the frosting.
I know. You could probably left that in your broil for just a little bit longer to get the whole thing toasty, but we were worried about the little pieces starting to turn black.
Yes.
We didn't want a bunch of that.
Because once you get that taste, it's ruined. You can't go back. You can't take it out. Even if you pick it off the top, that scorched flavor is always going to be in there. I think this is a very nice cake. It's not like blow my mind or anything like that, but I think it is
it's very good.
Sweet and delicious. I'm happy with the way the cake itself is so fluffy. And I mean, Kevin's, I got his piece out of the middle, and you can see,
super thick.
I mean, Yes, it is a very thick cake. And so I think that's great. It probably has a lot to do with the 4 eggs.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you whip it up pretty good too. And the coconut is, there's a lot of coconut, so you have to like coconut.
It got a nice bake on the bottom. I wonder if I could show it. There's the bottom of it. It's perfect. And so I think this would be great for a gathering. You're getting a lot of pieces out of it. So if you're going to have like a luncheon or something at your house, you could go ahead and have this cut and put for everybody, you know, just to grab a slice and go, or already have it on a little dessert plate or whatever. But if you like coconut and a sweeter frosting, then I think this is delicious.
Yeah, it is almost caramel-like. So
yeah.
It's very good.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've ever made anything like this, maybe you called it something different. I don't know why it's called a lazy daisy cake. I have no idea, especially the word daisy. I mean, where does that come from? I don't know, but you might know, and you can let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching.